Alright, welcome to This Explainer. Today we're taking a psychological, anime-style deep dive into the darkest corners of fictional minds. We're stepping completely away from the heroes and focusing our lens entirely on the antagonists, the monsters, the machines, the cosmic horrors. We're going to decode the existential monologues of these entities to see what they actually reveal about survival, ego, and the universe. So buckle up, because the tone today is ominous, the stakes are totally existential, and the truth, well, it's a little terrifying.
What if life itself feels like the opposite? Just let that sink in for a second. That haunting line comes straight from the fairy, a manic entity we're going to meet shortly, and it drops us instantly into the existential dread of our source material. You know, in an animated world, we expect life to be vibrant and purposeful, right? But what if the very essence of existence is actually a relentless draining of energy? Let's unpack this chilling perspective.
Okay, let's dive into this. Act 1. The Ego and the Hunger. Basically, a zombie's guide to radical entitlement.
So, do zombies actually have constructs? I mean, when you picture a zombie, you usually think of a mindless, shuffling horde, right? But enter Zombie 2. It readily admits it has absolutely no central processor, yet it's consumed by a relentless, inescapable sense of I. Without a functioning brain, how does an undead creature structure its desires? Is there a philosophy there, or is it just raw, unadulterated want? Well, the answer is stark, brutal, and quite literally ego at its finest. Zombie 2 only cares about the self, period. It wants its lovely, croaky voice broadcasted for the multitudes, forcing everyone to ingest its undead tripe. It wants to float its hoarse vomit on waves of sound. Sure, it literally hungers for brains, but more than that, it demands all available currency for its own ventures, wanting to absolutely starve those who actually need sustenance. It's the ultimate manifestation of pure malice and unearned entitlement.
And to justify this extreme selfishness, Zombie 2 uses some seriously twisted logic. It argues that a bird only flies forward because it has empty air, an incentive to project itself into the future. But Zombie 2 warps this completely. Its incentive is simply to project dislike, preferring to starve others so it can hoard more for itself. It claims it deserves a reduction in responsibilities simply for being undead. It's wildly chaotic, but honestly, it's a brilliant reflection of toxic entitlement.
Moving on to Act 2, The Void and the Switch. From cosmic fatalism to molecular theft.
Truly the only element that ultimately exists is Nile. This giant alien is a massive creature of destruction, but its worldview isn't just about smashing things. It's steeped in a deep, cosmic fatalism. It looks at the mortal realm and sees an infernal jungle, where outside forces simply do not care about your misery.
And this brilliantly illustrates the alien's perspective. Free will, objective time, completely wiped out, replaced 100% by nihilism, nothingness. It argues that in an infernal realm, nature's chaotic randomness decided everything long prior. So much is already set in stone. For a giant creature of destruction, there's no meditation, no peaceful existence, only death halts its progress, and after that, just nihilism again. It is a terrifyingly empty universe.
But now, let's pivot from the giant and empty to the totally manic and microscopic. Enter the Phaedry. This thing operates on pure frenetic energy, and its primary goal is theft. Specifically, it steals adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. The Phaedry treats these molecules like biological switches. It flits away with baskets full of ATP, stealing concentration, motivation, and even optimism right out from under us. When someone suddenly loses their drive, the Phaedry claims it's just turning off a switch that wasn't being used anyway.
The fairy possesses a deeply, deeply cynical view of existence. It sees all life, every single animal, every human, as mere biological switches, literally no different from robotic machines dissipating energy. And then there is what the fairy calls special differentiation, the absolute delusion of our species that we are somehow different. We believe we possess meaningful communication or that we're going to enter some magical animated world after we die. To the fairy, stealing our will and optimism is almost a favor, stripping away these sweet, pathetic delusions to reveal the cold, mechanical reality underneath.
Act 3, The Illusion of Order. Avalanches, bureaucracies, and apex predators. To dismantle the fictional order we've built, we turn to the cosmic justification of Zombie 4. Is it so befuddling that the sun does not care if Pluto freezes for all eternity? It's an absolutely incredible metaphor for collective corruption. If the universe itself is fundamentally indifferent, if the sun literally doesn't care about Pluto,
Why are we ever surprised when a corrupt system or a monstrous entity doesn't care about the lives of others?
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how Zombie 4 breaks down a crucial difference between nature and society. Take natural chaos. An avalanche happens due to pressure, snow, and chaotic randomness. It's fatalist, but hey, it's just physics. Then you have fictional corruption. This is when we build collective setups that go contrary to all our actual values. Unlike a natural disaster, an artificial system pretends to care while actually breathing corruption. To the monster, raw, natural chaos is actually far more honest than our imagined necessities. To trace exactly how we arrived at this corrupt modern era, we turn to the ancient monologue of an Allosaurus. In the asteroid extinction era, apex predators didn't really live. They inhabited pure survival at all costs, relying on sheer, stupid luck to avoid death. Then came evolution. The physical monsters died out, sure, but they passed down an infernal gene. Which brings us to the present, where that raw viciousness is hidden behind what the Allosaurus calls bureaucracies of hopes and symbols, edifices that merely pretend to care.
The Allosaurus actually gives this infernal gene a name, Psychopathicus saevus. It claims this is a dormant, inherited psychopathy scurrying in the bloodstream of literally all creatures. According to this ancient beast, evolution merely adapted to counteract its effects, hiding our raw, beastly nature behind symbols and pages of promises. But underneath all that bureaucracy, that prehistoric psychopathy is still there, driving our behaviors the second the masks slip.
So the crucial point is this. Looking at these wildly different perspectives gives us a unified, incredibly chilling through line. First, Zombie 2 showed us the terrifying hunger of the ego demanding everything without even having a processor. Then, the alien and the fairy revealed a universe driven by fatalistic nihilism, entropy, and the literal theft of our optimism. Finally, Zombie 4 and the Allosaurus stripped away our civilized masks, arguing that our modern world is just inherited psychopathy disguised by artificial edifices of care.
It's a heavy, deeply philosophical dive into the minds of monsters, but it forces us to look in the mirror. Are the edifices we build to care just another disguise for the raw beast within? Do our systems of bureaucracy and symbols actually protect us, or are they just fictional corruption masking the chaotic randomness of nature? It's a haunting thought to leave you with, straight out of the darkest anime villain's final speech. Keep questioning what's beneath the surface, and thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.